Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's just straight get to the news today. India has started administering booster shots or third dose for frontline and health workers and 60 above with comorbidities. About 5.75 crore people are eligible for the third dose in the ongoing drive. Now, people can take the third dose only after 9 months of taking the second dose. And this is what the health ministry had said earlier. It said that the third dose will be similar to the previous two doses. That means that there will be no mix and match of these doses. The health ministry has also said that no need to register for the precautionary vaccine dose. Those eligible can directly take an appointment or walk into any vaccination center. There is no decision yet on booster shots for all adults, however. This is something the center has also said today, that only 5 to 10% of the active COVID cases this time needed hospitalization. However, the situation, according to the health ministry, is dynamic, and that number is bound to change as case numbers are continuing to rise. Rajesh Bhushan, the Union Health Secretary, has also said in a letter that the percentage of active cases requiring hospital care was in the range of 20 to 23% in the second wave. Now, the government has also warned of a bigger surge in cases than the previous wave, and they've warned that for every 100 Delta cases, there could be 400 to 500 Omicron cases. There could be 125 to 350 hospitalizations for every 100 that took place in the second wave. India so far has reported 1.79 lakh fresh COVID cases and 146 deaths in the last 24 hours. Active caseload is now at 7 lakh. Mumbai has reported 13,648 new COVID cases. Delhi has reported 19,166 new COVID cases. Bengaluru has reported 9,221 COVID cases. India's Omicron tally has now crossed the 4,000 mark. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi also chaired a COVID meeting and directed officials to ensure that adequate health infrastructure is in place. Meanwhile, over 300 Delhi police personnel, including the public relations officer and additional commissioner, have tested positive for COVID. And this is an ANI report which says that a large number of Delhi police personnel in all units and at all police stations, including the police headquarters, have been hit by COVID. And the numbers are also quite high when compared to Mumbai and Bengaluru. It's at 19,166 fresh COVID cases in Delhi, much higher than Mumbai, which is at 13,648 fresh COVID cases in the last 24 hours. And hence, there are restrictions that have been announced by several states, not just Delhi. We'll start with Delhi. The Delhi Disaster Management Authority has now decided to restrict dining at restaurants and bars. These establishments will only be allowed to operate the takeaway facility as of now. Himachal Pradesh has also imposed restrictions. According to PTI, the government has said that a 5-day week has been imposed in offices. It's also banned social and religious gatherings from January 10th to 24th. Tripura has imposed fresh curbs, including a 10-day night curfew from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. from January 10th to January 20th. Puducherry has said that all schools with standards 1 to 9 will be closed for physical classes from Monday. Uttar Pradesh government has reimposed a night curfew and ordered closure of all physical educational classes in all educational institutions. Rajasthan has also imposed curbs. It said, according to the guidelines issued by the State Home Department, schools up to class 12 in the municipal corporation and municipality areas will be closed till January 30th. Online classes will continue as before. Kerala has also imposed, and these are fresh restrictions that have been announced by the state today because the number of cases were at 6,238 as of yesterday, which is the highest daily case count in about 2 months. It said that the number of people allowed at weddings and funerals have been capped at 50. Social, cultural, and political events must be streamed online, it said. Important and unavoidable gatherings will have to have COVID curbs. Additionally, offices should consider work from home. There has, however, been no announcement on weekend or night curfew as of now. Also in the news, according to directives issued by the ICMR, which is the Indian Council of Medical Research, contacts of COVID-19 patients, unless identified as high risk, don't need to be tested. And these are restrictions that the center has put out, and guidelines that the center has put out just now. It says asymptomatic individuals in community settings, patients who stand discharged as per home isolation guidelines, also patients discharged from a COVID-19 facility, and individuals undertaking interstate domestic travel need not be tested. No emergency procedure like surgeries and deliveries should be delayed for the lack of tests. Asymptomatic patients undergoing surgical or non-surgical invasive procedures, including pregnant women or near labor who are hospitalized for delivery, should not be tested unless warranted or symptoms develop. News of COVID from across the globe right now. Israel Prime Minister has announced that it will issue kindergartners and elementary school students with free COVID home testing kits. Now, Prime Minister Bennett has also said that the government is trying to lower commercial costs of antigen kits, and this is a Reuters report. Meanwhile, the UK government is warning that almost all pregnant women admitted to the hospital with COVID symptoms were unvaccinated in one analysis over several months last year. And it's kicked off an advertising campaign encouraging expectant mothers to get tested and boosted. In fact, the campaign is calling on pregnant women not to wait to get their first, second, or the booster dose. Moving away from COVID right now, let's take a look at what else is making news in the country. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia on Sunday has said that the NEET PG counselling for 2021-2022 will start from January 12th. And this comes after the Supreme Court had earlier said that the NEET PG counselling should go ahead based on the existing 27% OBC and 10% EWS, which is the economically weaker section, reservations in the All India quota seats this year. If you remember, for several weeks, doctors had been protesting in Delhi. Also in the news, the Supreme Court on Monday has said that it will appoint a committee headed by a retired judge of the top court to probe the alleged security breach during Prime Minister Modi's visit to Punjab on the 5th of January. A bench headed by Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana said, and I quote, "We are thinking on these lines. One retired Supreme Court judge will head the committee, which will be the same like before. Also, IG Intelligence of Punjab," end quote. On to news that's coming in from across the world. There are lots of updates on the Kazakhstan unrest. To take you through that story, first, according to media reports citing health officials, at least 164 people have died in Kazakhstan during violent anti-government protests. Now, Kazakhstan's presidential office has said that over 6,000 people have been arrested, including a substantial number of foreign nationals. People have been protesting across the country, if you remember, over the rise in fuel prices. The president had also earlier ordered shoot to kill against the protesters. A state of emergency and a nationwide curfew currently are in place. Russian troops have also been deployed in the country. Interestingly, Russian President Vladimir Putin has said today that a Moscow-led military detachment deployed to counter the unrest in Kazakhstan would remain in the Central Asian country for only, and I quote him, a limited period of time. Also, according to a BBC report, internet services have returned to Kazakhstan's largest city following a 5-day blackout. The president has also described the deadly violence that took place last week as an attempted coup. Also in the news, according to Reuters, which cited a top official, the European Union is planning to bring in new legislation that will require tech companies to detect, report, and remove child sexual abuse. Now, an EU official said that social media firms had reported 22 million child sexual abuse offenses in 2020, up from 17 million in 2019. Also, in Myanmar, ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to 4 years of jail for importing walkie-talkie and flouting COVID rules. Now, Suu Kyi was convicted last month on two other charges and given a 4-year prison sentence, which was then halved by the head of the military installed government. This is 4 more years in prison. Moving on to sports news right now, tennis star Novak Djokovic has won the court battle to stay in Australia. Now, taking to Twitter, Djokovic said, and I quote, "I'm pleased and grateful that the judge overturned my visa cancellation. Despite all that has happened, I want to stay and try and compete in the Australian Open," end quote. Djokovic's lawyers argued in court that the visa cancellation at Melbourne airport last week was unreasonable, and the judge agreed. According to AFP, the Australian government's lawyer told the court that immigration minister may still decide to use his personal power of cancellation despite the player's victory. Now, the 34-year-old arrived in Melbourne last week ahead of the Australian Open, which starts in just about a week to go, hoping to win a record-breaking 21st Grand Slam title. And one piece of good news before we wrap up this bulletin: Canada has now banned conversion therapy, a discredited practice that is used in an attempt to change the sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression of LGBTQIA+ individuals. Canadian Prime Minister took to Twitter on Friday and he said, and I quote, "As of today, it's official. Conversion therapy is banned in Canada. Our government's legislation has come into force, which means it's now illegal to promote, advertise, benefit from, or subject someone to this hateful and harmful practice. LGBTQI+ rights are human rights," end quote. Now, that brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching.